comes to a romantic relationship, you decide whom to roll with. Yes, you are in charge of your own happiness. But what happens when you become the subject of discussion just because you decided to date an older person who is twice or maybe 3 times your age? Does age really matter in a relationship? Is it true that men and women who date older people do so for the money and comfort? Well, on this episode of Moans and Cuddles, my guest and I delve into the pros and cons of dating an older person in a relationship. My name is Paulina Deda Opoku. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that quick break. This is Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. And you know the name, right? I am Paulina Deda Opoku. So today's conversation has been on the table for a very long time. We're looking into dating or marrying an older person. Yeah, this is just not for women. It applies to men also. There are some pros and cons, and people say they don't want to date older people, while some people find it very attractive. So today, with the help of my guest, yes, we're going to delve into it, find out why some people are attracted to older people, why some people say it's a no-no. Why is it so? So to help us do justice to today's conversation, I got here with me Nana Kwame Emmanuel Afo. He is the CEO of Prime Events and Nana's Kitchen. Nana, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. And then Rosie Nana Ama Echa. Rosie, welcome.
Thank you, darling.
Rosie is a sexual health advocate. She's a designer. She's a businesswoman. Rosie is everywhere. She's a 360 woman. Rosie, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure having me.
You guys look good.
Thank you. You look great.
Oh, you don't
I'm taking you out after this. I mean, you can't sleep like this.
Rosie, please do.
Yeah.
Please do. Okay. So let's move straight into our conversation. The issue of dating an older person. Because in this society, sometimes when you say you are with an older person, it's like, okay, why are you with them? Somebody who is old enough to be your mother or your father. So Rosie, let me start with you. What influences one, or what do you think might influence somebody to go out with a matured or an older person?
One, anything should be influenced by your decision. So life is a choice. I'm a woman of choice. You're a woman of choice. He's a man of choice. So if I feel the older man is more appealing to me on every scale that I find appealing, then why not? It's a go for me.
Okay.
Yes.
That's it.
It's just simple.
My heartbeat for you is an older person.
It's an older person.
You just actually, I would go with what she said. You just don't have to limit yourself on when you find love. You can't tell when love hits or knocks on your door. You try to restrict yourself because you think the person is old. But ask yourself, what if you were old and someone also falls in love with you? Would you restrict yourself because you're old? Or would you restrict yourself because the person is young?
But let's be real. There are some people who say that in cases like that, it's just money or comfort.
It's funny to me.
Do you agree that when a woman is in a relationship or is married to an older person, maybe old enough to be your father, it's about the money the man has, or when a man, of course, a man who in our society they say you have to be the head, ends up with an older woman. Do you think it's because of money?
What's wrong if it's with money and comfort?
Okay.
Because everybody wants to get comfortable.
Yeah.
If you're with someone who is not financially up there and you're comfortable, you're living within that means and you're comfortable, it's still comfort. So if the person has more the merrier. What's wrong if there is more money, and more comfort, and there is more love?
I also think that if you don't have money and you are not living the life you want to live, and you found someone who is coming in, you didn't go for, the person came in, and the person has the money, to hell with that. Like, I want money and comfort. Everyone wants it. Let me tell you, you can't tell me that you are comfortable when you are poor. You are not. Okay. You can't be comfortable when you are poor. You have dreams. You want to fulfill your dreams. So when someone comes in and tells you, I'm in love with you, and you see that this is the resources the person has, in fact, it's very insulting when you go in only for the money. But you should go in a whole package. You should go in for a whole package. If it's sex, go in for it. If it's love, go in for it. If it's the money, go in for it. If it is whatever it is, go in for it.
Okay, so we shouldn't judge women or men who end up with other people if you think that is all for the money?
No, I mean,
No.
Paul, I think I should just add this, that
Okay.
money and comfort in itself is a love language.
Yeah, exactly. It communicates.
Money and comfort. It's a love language. If you check Gary Chapman's The Four Love Languages, you understand the gifts, the word affirmation, all that. I mean, without the money, how are you going to get the person gift? Money itself it helps you prove your love to someone, because love is a proof of itself. Love is a verb, and without the money and comfort, I mean, you don't have the luxury to even chase someone.
Okay, so let's be real here. In a romantic relationship, or the ones that we see at churches, mostly you see the marriage between people who are of the same age, at least if not like 5 years, 10 years and all that, you just name it. It kind of looks like that is the acceptable one, if you are not going to go for people's preference and all that. But what would you say should be the acceptable, in quotes, age limits when it comes to dating someone?
I don't see any age limits when it comes to dating someone. Before you date someone, you saw something that attracted you to the person.
Okay.
Before you even had to go and tell the person, I'm in love with you, I wanted to start something, you saw something in the person that made you feel like, I think I want to get more closer. I just want to know you more. So if you want to know someone who is older than you more, the thing is, you don't even know the age before you even get closer to the person.
Yeah, you get attracted to something.
Something that drew you. It's like a magnet. Something that drew you to the person, and then it started from there. So immediately it starts. That is when you start to ask questions. That's when you start to find out.
Okay,
the
Nana,
person's
let
age and
me
all.
come in on this. I have heard, it kind of looks like it's the word on the street, a man being advised that, oh, when you are going in to marry, make sure at least you are 5 years older than your woman, because women grow faster and all that. So men, in normal cases, love to marry women who they are a bit older than, because they're like, oh, childbirth and all that, maybe at a point you might look matured and stuff like that. It is real. It is real. Apart from people having preference, it kind of looks like the age thing is there. And then women too, they're like, oh, at least marry someone who is 5. I don't know if you've heard that.
Yeah,
age
it's-
limit.
I've heard that.
It's a
I've heard that
societal
lot.
bit there that a man should marry age appropriately, usually for the man. The lady has to be, below his age. And usually they talk in that sense of fertility issues. But now science has proven that women can have, there are other means to equally, have a child. Even if you struggle, if the age is a problem, there are other ways to actually make up for that. So science has cancelled that out. And also there is a bit of women maturing, usually in the physical, a sense where she's wrinkling. Sweetheart, there are ladies who are 50 and still dashing.
Yeah.
They still look 20, 25.
Exactly.
So I think all these restrictions have been, with time, it has faded off. So the joke is quite old. When you say you have to marry,
When you come in with the birth thing, excuse me to say, but if you are 25 and you still can't give birth,
you're not fertile, you're still not
you
fertile.
still can't. If you're 50 and you will,
You're still fertile?
You're still fertile.
You're still fertile.
Because you can't tell when your menopausal stage is going to end. Some people start early, some start late. So when you are thinking about going to date someone, and then you think about, if I marry this person who is 50, how will she be able to give birth? How will she be able to carry the child and all that? It's not your duty. Leave that. Just handle what is in between the two of you at the moment. Surrogacy is something that even can help.
It's helping now. People
It can help a lot.
Yeah.
But if you try to limit yourself because of the age and not marry the person, imagine you marrying someone of your own age.
And for 20 years you still
can't give birth.
you have to
How
also
many
understand that childbirth is a gift from God.
Yes, exactly.
Rosie, so how about those who don't think the way we do? Like we say that, okay, it doesn't matter if age shouldn't be a limitation to why you're dating a person. How about those people too? What do you think, drags them away or push them away from dating? And let's because you're a woman, what do you think some ladies, they don't want to end up with older men?
Okay, so let me start from this angle where why most people would not want to marry someone, you know, way older than them. So there's a social stigma where you have to be explaining to the whole family, I mean the whole world now, since everybody feels so entitled to people's private and personal life. Why are you dating a man who is 50 years and you were 30? Why are you dating a woman who was 25 and you were 50? So that whole, I mean, now society has become, should I say, too nosy into people's private life. And people have to go through the church. You know, there is way too much stigma.
When the age
gap,
too much.
So people are like, okay, you know what, let me just settle for someone, you know, within my age range. And that could also be wrong, because that someone could not be good for you.
Even with that, you are even inviting issues to yourself.
Yes.
Because that is not what you want. You want this, but the society is trying to tell you to do that. At the end of the day, the question you should ask yourself is, who is in the marriage?
Okay. So I really
or
want
yourself?
to treat it from the male and then the female aspect. So already we've talked about the fact that you have to be
social
explaining
stigma.
yourself all the time.
Yes, and there is also the generational gap where, I mean, this generation, in my generation, I mean, late 20s, 30s, this is a generation where you're adventurous. You want to explore the world. This is your prime, you know. So if you go for someone way older, whose mindset is not young, he is in their 50 generation. Someone say your ancestor.
I did your ancestors.
And you know, in that age, you know, he's just wanting to settle. If his personality is not, you know, well in tune. There's some people who are 50 and they're still vivacious. They still want to go out. They still want to explore the world. They live young. For them, age is but a number. But you find someone who is very conservative and is tuned towards the social line. 50, he's settled. You 20, 25, 30, you're like, I am now on top of the world. I want to go here. He's like, oh, you just have to settle down, slow down. How can you slow me down?
There's a
So that
difference.
generational gap also is a problem. And also there is this bit about the whole age mindset, where if he's controlling, he feels more of your father than your husband or boyfriend. So then, because he is, you know, in that, even that, sometimes he might even have been through a marriage or two, or have kids your age.
All right. Rosie, you hold on to that one for me,
Definitely,
because that one
darling.
we're going to delve into it.
Okay.
But Nana, on the part of men, what do you think stops them? Doesn't make it attractive to date older women.
Men are not stopped. Like, you can't stop a man when he wants to marry someone who is older.
Men do. Society does not
You
spare
know
men
what?
of the
Men
restrictions,
of-
though.
Men of, let me say, my age now want to think for themselves.
So do
Especially-
women.
I know, but when it comes to the society trying to stigmatize and say this and that, they tell you what they want. Like, it's me.
I must say, I can foresee them and a warrior bar, like that
So
kind of
if
thing.
I am in the position of getting married to someone who is older than I am, it should be a privilege to my family that I'm bringing in a woman. It doesn't matter the age. A man is a man. No matter what you do, a man is a man. A man would go extra mile to do what he wants.
All right. Now,
Men are not limited.
but Nana, I've heard prior to this conversation, you have to speak to some people where they were making it clear that a man shouldn't feel like a woman is taking the place. Like, you know, you are there, you are doing the own. It's not like they want to instruct you and all that, but they should feel like, okay, I am the man. So when it comes to dating an older woman, you don't get that. Some of them are trying to make it look like, oh, you are my son, but I'm not your son. I'm a man.
No.
You might be older than me, but give me that respect.
The thing is, when you are in a relationship with someone who is older than you, I'm talking in a sense of the guys, or let's say the men, you shouldn't allow the woman to be your mommy. She's not your mother. In this case, you guys have sex. You guys sleep on the same bed, almost do everything together. So you shouldn't
be a big baby yourself too.
Yes, and you shouldn't act like I'm a child. You should show maturity.
Okay.
She's 50, you are 25 or 30, half or quarter her age. You should act much up to her age. Make sure that she sees the man in you. You don't have to get there before you act like a man. Your mind is matured, though your body it looks like the 25 or the 30 person, but you should act matured. You don't have to wait for her to tell you you need to do this and that. In that case, then why don't you stay with your mom? Because your mom tells you how to do everything. Yeah. You match up to her age, and then she sees that I'm dating someone who is 25, but this guy fits me so well. You don't have to act like you are picking up from let me say, try to pick up from a child's pocket. You don't have to do that. She's 50, fine. I'm 25, but I dress like a grown man. I speak like a grown man. Like she sees, she has a man in the house.
The thing is that you can do all that, right? People kind of, it's the mindset of people. It's the mindset, because they think like, oh, she will be bossy. She will go like, oh, you have to be home by this time, and she will even feel jealous or insecure when she sees me with younger women.
Whatever she does, don't forget you instigated it.
Really?
With whatever the person does, you started it. If you make her have authority over you in a way, you brought it. You need to balance. There should be communication. There's a point that she's going to do that. You need to sit her down and be like, you know what? You are older than I am, fine, but I'm trying to catch up with you.
Okay, Nana, so your advice to men who feel like
chip something in there, but
okay,
yes.
Okay. So your advice is men who think that there's other factors that are going to get in their way of dating other women, is that you should let a person know that, okay, yeah, we are going in a relationship, but I don't want to feel like you are the mom and I'm the child.
Me.
Okay.
Then don't be a big baby.
Yes.
Because my people will tell you, say, well,
yeah.
If you go in there and you're acting a big baby, she's
going to treat you like one.
I mean, how you sell yourself is how people buy you.
Yeah.
If you're not matured. So you see, this kind of relationships are for the matured minded. If you're going in for someone older than you, the level of maturity should be on the same level.
It's true.
It's not with the age, it's just maturity.
Sometimes even with our community, someone will sit back and be like, oh, when you and so now drink
so he could be 50, you're 25.
Yes,
okay, he is more childish, you are more matured.
Okay, I like where the conversation is going. So what we're saying is that if you want to date an older person, you should also come with the big boy, big girl.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be thinking like a kid.
Like a child at all.
Okay. You should be mature.
You should be mature.
In both ways, spiritually, sexually, mentally. You should be mature in every way.
Okay, sure. So it's getting interesting here, but then we'll take a quick break. When we come back, the show still continues.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects and others right here on Ghana Web TV.
Welcome back from that quick break. This is Moans Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV, and I want to give special thanks to my glam team. Yes, so my makeup was beautifully done by Kiki Siddiq. She's on Instagram, so you can follow her. And if you want to be glammed for your parties, engagement, for all occasions, Kiki is there to sort you out. And today, you know, my set is beautiful, and I like how the conversation is going. Before we were going, you made points that when you're in to date an older person, you have to be matured in spirit, in everything.
Yes.
Yeah, but then let's be real. Now that maybe you are in a relationship, you are married or you are dating an older person, does it always mean that people go into such things with a motive? Maybe he's going to sponsor me with my education. Maybe I lost my dad or I lost my mom, so he's going to fill in the mommy daddy figure. And is it okay if you, of course, you marry or you date people for your own personal reasons, you know why. So is it always the case that when it comes to older people, there should be a motive behind it?
Well, motive is not bad. Motive is from motivation. And motivation is what drives people. So me going in with the motive of whatever, personal to me, is none of anybody's business. I am happy being with this person. He's happy being with me. You get that? So we both getting what we want in a relationship. Because mind you, people walk into relationships with their own baggage and with their own needs. So whatever your need is, that's what you walk into the relationship is. So if your need is sexual, it will be upfront. If your need is financial, it will be upfront. If your need is emotional, it will be upfront. And there is nothing wrong with that.
But there have been cases where I went in with the motive of, okay, I'm dating an older person. He's going to sponsor my education. And then the person sponsors your education, gives you all that, now you're in a better place. But then the love is not there. Initially, you knew that, okay, if I'm rolling with a younger person, it will take too long. This person is established and stuff like that. Now, the whole thing was he was going to help me. Maybe he's going to help me take care of my family. Now you are in it. The love is not there. Then you go knocking on younger people's guy, like, you know, you are knocking on a younger guy's door.
So if you're not happy at that stage, you just leave the relationship.
Yeah. And I think,
but it's not easy like that. Especially when it has advanced to marriage.
I think
right?
it's not. It's
okay. Some people feel like my and then when you baby so now you want to leave.
You know, there are thousands of people who have helped people,
and
without nothing happened.
Like, there are people who've just given out strangely,
yes,
with no strings attached. And it's nothing new on this earth anyway.
Your sacrifice is not even something that I should even write home about. It's not that big. Some have sacrificed and to the extent of their life. Okay, so if you tell me that I've helped you and what you have to give in return is to marry me, oh please.
Then if you're doing this, then I mean, people who actually donate to the orphanages have to
also marry everybody. Marry everybody.
No, you don't go through life with the intent of just giving to just get back.
Yeah, you won't.
You give to take, and love is just like that. Yeah. In any way, any relationship, it should be give and take, but not give and demand.
No.
But have you heard of cases where the relationship ended and it's like, I'm taking back my car, I'm taking back the phone, I'm taking back everything? How do you deal with that?
You also take back everything you give him.
Rosie,
so it was good sex. You come and collect a sperm. So we are waiting for that.
And the energy
we have spoons for that.
The energy all the styles she did. You enjoyed. I enjoyed.
All the styles he or she did.
What are you coming for?
Yes.
If you gave me material stuff,
you say you got something back.
Stuff, and I didn't give you material stuff, but I gave you my time, which you can't buy.
You can't take it back.
I gave you my emotions. The number of tears I've shed,
the prayer warriors, we're on our knees.
My knees, and like I have sacrificed a lot that you can't buy.
Yes.
In that sense, if I'm returning everything back to you,
you have to quantify that
give
in
me
cash.
Back everything. And if you are matured enough and you sit to think that what I have given you, you can't pay back, you just leave it.
So your advice to people who are in the situation where their partners are like, okay, give me back the phone. You shouldn't give it back. That's what you're saying.
No.
What do you take the person for? Like, wait, was I a sex toy at that moment? That's the question you need.
No, if I was a sex toy, then pay me for the good sex. I mean, let's get paid here. Once you're quantifying the relationship,
you need to quantify everything in the relationship.
No, so if you started quantifying, let's quantify the sex, let's quantify the emotional availability, let's quantify the times I comforted you, let's quantify the days that I waited for you to come home, the days I actually cooked.
That's a lot of money.
You see, that's a lot. I'm a businesswoman. That's a whole business on its own.
From the ladies' part, that is the whole thing.
That's a whole bit.
But let's say from a man's part, my energy, please, the sex,
it's all good.
and also trying to understand your drama alone. Imagining me sitting down and thinking of what to do for you.
The psychological damage it
trying
does to
to
you.
battle with myself. How to make you
But
happy.
because it's been a lot. Hostels, you see people come in, take their stuff, and then an older person bought a car. I'm taking back my car. I don't know. Is it a mistake that we make? Like if someone buys you a car or a house or acquires any property for you, you should put it in your name and not their
No,
name.
a gift confers no right legally.
Exactly.
If it's a gift, it confers no right. You have no right over it. It's mine.
It's yours.
So I think the mistake we make is we don't know our right. And if we know it, we don't exercise it. Sometimes you know you have it already. But to equate that, it's a CAA. You've been with someone and you've got this. It's a physical bit. You got me that. All that I invested into you, can you pay
Can you
back?
pay back? Yeah, that's the thing.
I gave you qualities, you get
And those
quantity. And you
things-
come in to
those-
take your
those
quantity.
things
Right,
are
it won't
very-
happen
Those
here.
things are very painful and expensive, more than the things you buy for them.
Yes.
Someone giving you his or her time, that are not material. It's very expensive.
I know someone will be watching and go like, gave you your time. It's time compared to all the money, all the phones that
Time
I
is the
bought for
greatest
you.
asset in this
Look,
world.
if you really want to,
don't see
if
it
you
that
really
way.
want to
People
know,
don't
if you
see
really
it
want
that
to know
way.
if
Can't even
someone
buy
loves
time.
you, if you really want to know if someone loves you, someone has time for you, someone cares about you, look at the short frame of time the person gives you. If someone doesn't have anything for you, you text, it's a blue tick or something, and it's gone. But someone who loves you spends a whole lot of time with you, though he has something else to do, which will be able to bring in something to the house, but makes time for you. So if you come and tell me that you are taking everything, please pay me back my time. And I'm going to bring out a long sheet with a calculator beside it.
We do that, and we also have to wise up that everything it should be book and paper.
Yeah.
I'm a very legal-minded person.
can't just do
if
a
you're
verbal
buying me a car, you bought the car. I should have the documentation of that car.
In your name.
What? Are you giving me your car to use per the time here? Oh, I bought you this car. It means it's a gift. So give me the documentation. But you see, we do enter your door, or door you, and you see that it's not a door.
There's a quote I read that you might be seeing red flags in a relationship, but love will turn it to purple or pink. You will know. You will see this is
Before
exactly a red
everything
flag.
else, I clear. Before you know that, Charlie.
Hey, that what you ready?
That's
Purple,
it.
condemn.
Condemn.
For you. That's the
Okay.
thing.
Okay. All right. But then in the case where you're in for the thing, you don't care what society say, that this woman is older than me, this man is older than me. Are there questions that you must ask yourself?
So, per our conversation before, I mentioned that there should be like maturity on every level. So, before any relationship, before you and I, anybody enters a relationship with someone else, there should be quite a number of checks. Apart from the physical attraction that will get you attracted and closer to the person, there should be some kind of check. There should be mental checks where you know mentally we're on that same level.
Okay, Rosie, one thing, not to cut you, but then people do think or assume that once my partner is way older than me, when it comes to sex, which is a big deal for some people in a romantic relationship, they're thinking like, okay, he's an older man. Is he going to perform like how a younger man is going to rock me? She's an old woman. Can she give me all the styles and in the Kama Sutra?
Someone will
just
tell you it
name
will surprise you.
Rosie, let me say something here.
The kind of 360.
The kind of mindset people have about older men. Let me say, I'm a man.
Okay,
Don't joke with men.
okay. Let's
No
take it
matter
from
the
here.
amount of, no matter the age, when a man sees that he's going in for a younger lady, the man prepares himself. The man is fast. You will be surprised.
Fast and Furious.
Yes, you will be the kind of rounds, the kind of roles, the kind of styles he's going to even introduce you, the lady, into.
Because it counts with sexual, very
You will be
sexually
surprised.
40 years
experienced.
of experience.
You would ask
You know,
yourself,
he'll maneuver.
You would ask yourself,
Daddy, how did you do
how
that?
Did you do that? And at the end of the day, you will be calling him daddy. Zazie.
Daddy, your daddy,
And-
daddy.
Like you will sit at home and ask yourself, wow, that was something.
That was something else. Mind-blowing sex.
And you will meet a young guy.
Who'll play with you?
Let me just stop.
Anyhow, he doesn't know his way around the woman's body.
You ask the guy, what did you just do?
What did you just do? Get up.
And then he preparation. Oh boy.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
No shit, no cover.
Or call one, or call half. The man can go more than one, tell you what he wants, how he wants it, how he wants you to sound, how he wants you to go, and you'll be surprised.
Rosie, but then with him saying that, but do you think that women who are older, because there are instances where people who are married with wives, like the same age, they tend to come out looking for the fresh blood, like the younger girls. What the explanation they give is that most of the time that, oh, they know how to, when it comes to sex, they're not going to be like my wife who is in the house. Do you think sex is a problem when you're dating an older person?
No, it's not. Usually another person carries sexual experience. And some people say the older the berry, the sweeter the juice. Yeah. So if you're going for someone who is older than you, they carry more experience than you do. It will surprise you, just like Kwame was saying. He will give you things you're like, okay, I'm new to this. The adventure itself, because he knows usually more than you do. He's lived longer. He's had multiple sexual experiences. So he brings all the spice to the ground.
In the unfortunate case where they are matured, so the sex and the erection, how they ejaculate, it is
so that's a health issue.
Okay, of course.
There are men who are in their 20s, 25s, 30s who are still having the erectile dysfunction.
But Rosie, let's just say, with mature people, let's face facts, not all of them can keep up with the time, like as to when they were younger. So in the cases where you as a lady, you are dating an older man with such an issue, what can you also do to at least meet him halfway?
I like the way you say, how can you do? Okay, So the bit when it comes to sex, sex is a mind thing. Okay. So it should start from a lot of preparation and a lot of foreplay. Okay. So the whole bit about the young bit is they fuck. So it's like pam 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 o two man can so you don't even know. So it's just the energy exhaustion. They're just exhausting their strength, but they are not really delivering anything. Sure. And half women don't even reach orgasm because of this bit. But when it comes to you preparing for the sex, and when it comes to having a good sexual life, there should be the health bit of it, the diet, the exercising, the lifestyle associated to sex in itself. Because sex in itself is a whole country on its own. It has different regions. So you have to think about the health bit of it. Are you eating well? There are lots of foods you eat well. It makes your sex, it spices up your sex life. There are lots of other sexual instruments you can, engage, bring into the sex toys, bring creativity into the bedroom is very good. And there is the whole foreplaying bit. And then the number one bit I always tell people, role playing. You talked about in a marriage setting where you're having sex and the wife, the man is like, I'm tired, and it's just one position. You are not role playing. Every day is bedroom, off the light. You don't even see the panty she's wearing, no lingerie.
No undress.
How about try the kitchen?
Yeah.
How about get to know her love language so that you can foreplay her? You're in the office, you're like, and I'm married. Something. She's like, oh God, she's all spiced up for you.
You need, before you get someone into the sex position, there is a way of starting it, welcoming it. Her mind might not be on sex at the moment. So when you are far away from her, you pick up your phone, you try to check up on her. Afterwards, get a little naughty. Okay. What are you wearing? Are you okay?
Please, I hope you are picking up the point. What are you wearing? Are you okay?
Tonight, I want us to start something. Tonight, I want us to do something. Tonight, we are not doing it in the bedroom. Tonight, we are doing it in the kitchen. We are doing it in the hall. You have your car parked in your house. You can try it in your house.
You're a good one.
You can try it in your car, in your house.
So as a younger person, you have to be more adventurous. Bring something.
Get to know what this person wants. Okay. Sometimes you have your body is a whole, let me say, a temple on its own. I will trigger you in a way, and you will give me a love language, and I might say something in your ears, and you go like, oh. That is where I can see your thinness. So I'm like, okay, I've found it.
Because
That
of the
alone-
lover's language, actually.
Sure. So that alone will not be where your whole stuff is. I can try another part. So let's say Monday, I try, it's there. Tuesday, I can find under your feet or something. The next day, so gradually, you are getting there. So every day, there's something new in our sex life.
Okay, but then we spoke about the fact that the disadvantages, which some people say is when you the children and all that. But as a younger person going in for a man or a woman who already is married, has kids and all that, should you prep yourself? Are you going to be okay when you're going to be like a stepmom? And then sometimes his children are even older than you, or her sons are older than you.
If an issue is going to come up, it will be from the children. If the scenario whereby the children are older than or the same age mate, and you are going in as their stepdad, it's funny because if you don't take care, they are going to pollute their mother's mind not to go ahead with the marriage. And your own attitude or your own way of responding to these children will also bring the downfall of your relationship. So if you are going into a relationship where there is a mother, she's a mother to, let's say, 3 kids who are your age mates, this is where I say you have to come down to everyone's level. Be on their mother's level when you are with their mom. Be on the child's level or her children's level when you are with the children. So you role play, like rotate. If there's something that the child wants, and you also want this thing from this woman, and the child wants it, you know how to communicate what the child wants to the mother. The child will love you, and you'll be surprised the child will even approve of your relationship with his mom or
Rosie,
her mom.
All right. Rosie, so in case maybe you are dating a man whose daughter is like, just like your age, would you see any big deal, or you just...
Well, I don't. Like he said, the role play. So you play both sides. It's just like living in your parents' house.
Okay.
You have siblings. Sometimes you're younger than them, some are older than you. You know how to talk to the older ones, how to talk to the... So it's relatability. You should bring that on the table.
No,
your human skills.
Can you say that, oh, so babes, I want to hang out with your daughter. So like, you go out and that's what you do.
You should have a boundary.
No, it can't happen.
You know why?
With healthy boundaries in check.
You know why I'm saying you should have a boundary? For me as a guy, I'm going out with someone whose daughter is my age mate. Why would I go out with the daughter? One, don't forget the woman thinks a lot. The woman is old. You came in for the woman, not the daughter. You might have a pure sense of mind.
This is a dicey one.
You might have a pure sense of mind with you might have a pure sense of mind with the daughter. But ask yourself, what is the mother thinking?
Before you are caught up in a situation that it can lead to something.
Funny enough, too, the daughter might end up falling in love with you.
Oh, you might also
fall in love. If you don't take care, you might be setting fire. Before you realize, hey, it's just to feel hot.
So you should set boundaries.
Boundaries, but there should be relatability.
Yeah.
So in this situation, there will be a need. Maybe you cut some strings off because she's female, and the male energy is a spicy one. You don't want to.
Especially
you don't want to
two young
mess
people.
with.
No.
So the youthful exuberance is already there. A bit of indiscipline. Anything can happen. So that's that one day. Yeah.
Because it's very this thing is something we should really think about, because it happens in various homes. People are dating older women who have children their age, and that even if the lady or the child is not willing to fall in love with you, it has a motive of trying to destroy your relationship with the mother.
Play something.
So if you don't take care, she's either going to spoil it or even make it worse. So if you want to go out or make that child happy, do it through the mother. And when the mother is not in the house, just be careful.
Okay. Just be careful.
Kwame is a very careful dude.
He doesn't want no trouble for himself.
No trouble.
All right. So yes, you have to thread cautiously. But we'll take a quick break. You're still watching Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next. To the
I
answer.
don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you are denying funny face. It's not my brother. Today I deny funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Huabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
Welcome back from that quick break. You're still watching Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV, and my name is Paulina Deda Opoku. So today it's been very simple. We're just finding out why or what influenced people not to date older people, and then those that decide to settle with older men and women. What is the motive behind it? What is the drive? Is it the sex? Is it the money as society claims it is? But Nana, when we talk about dating an older person, some people have the thoughts that they are going to be possessive, they are going to have insecurities, stuff like that. Is that an issue for people, or is it a reality on the ground? Are they always like that?
It is. It's a very big deal in our setting now, because you can't date someone who is old and not feel like you are not being controlled. When you are dating someone who is old, your age difference is the thing now. So if you are free to do your thing, you are 25 or 26, 27, and you have this energy that drives you. It's different from that person. The person is different from you because of the age. So in case where you want to go out, and you are all dressed. In this case, she's not part of you. She's not going with you. And you're all dressed and you're like, I'm stepping out for a minute, I'll be back. That is when she goes like, where are you going? To do what? With whom? She tries to find out, trying to be like she cares. Like she's trying to control your movements. When she does that, you allowed it. I always say that when you want to communicate to people, your form of communication welcomes what they want to say to you. If you want to be controlled and you allow yourself, she will control you. She will tell you what to do. But if you tell her that though you are young, as I said initially, you are young, but then you are matching up to her age, she stops it. She advises herself without no one telling her not to even try it. You are going out. You communicate to her in a way that she will understand that you are going out. You are going out, but not with anyone.
But must you always explain yourself? Like, okay, detail, I'm going to hang out with this
It's tiring though.
No, it's with time you get tired. With time you get tired of those things. Yeah. If I explain myself to you every day, a time will come, I'll leave the house without even telling you anything. Yeah. I will come back, you will nag about it. Yeah. I don't care.
So it's what you start. From the beginning, you'd like doing the explanation.
When you're going out, because it's new love. Oh, you give her a perk. I'm going out. I'll be back. Every day. And then one day you have to go out. She's not in the house. She will be expecting you to call her, tell her where you're going. You are not free.
There's actually nothing wrong with communicating your movements, because it's very good. I mean, security-wise and even personal-wise.
Sure,
you don't know what is going to happen to you, on your way out. But like what he's saying, when the foundations are faulty, the relationship will suffer anyhow. So communication-wise, I mean, you lay the groundwork. and one is because we are entering into relationships where the maturity level, one is a child, one is a mother, one is a child, one is a father. So there is no, neutral grounds or middle grounds, let me say, when it comes to maturity. Because in the situation where we both we are matured people mentally. I'm going out, you're like, oh babe, I'm leaving out, I'm going partying. Oh, where are you going with? Oh, I'm going with Araba, there's a party there. Oh, you take care, baby. Bad what? Okay, only one echo. In today. Really?
Like
the what say?
Like.
So Rosie, how do you handle that? How do you handle the possessive, the insecurity when you are with a mature person?
If you've not entered that relationship, don't delve into it. Don't go into any relationship where your peace of mind will be threatened. Don't be with anybody who is insecure. Because if they're insecure, they'll project that onto you. You get that? So if you're already in it, then this should be the remedy where there should be a conversation. And this conversation should start on communication, good communication, active communication, not passive one, where someone is saying something emotionally, the other person is saying it sexually. If you're saying it sexually, let's be sexual. If you're going emotional, let's have a heart-to-heart, tete-a-tete. Let's have that conversation, And if you're having like a mind, that mental, kind of delving. Let's get to know how you think. Oh, sometimes you're like, oh, it's just something as simple as that. Oh, minim say how na me just up so there be. Some people just, that understanding. So that communication should be there. And secondly, there should be a respectful, healthy boundary. Where before you entered my life, I was an individual.
I had a life.
Package.
I had a
life. Whole human.
I'm a whole human.
I had my life.
I'm not half of you. You're not half of me. You're not my better half.
No, not yet.
I'm not your better half.
Not yet.
Not even if we are married.
Rosie, you think so?
No. That better half thing has brought bread and salad situation into matters. Better half, and people are like fusing. The whole people, the man and woman coming together is to build something together.
Yeah.
So you should be something built. You should be
together.
organized. I'm organized. If not, it's distraction and building coming together. What's going to be built?
Chaos.
It's chaos that's going to be, maturity and immaturity coming together. Immaturity will prevail. So you don't even enter a relationship where there is insecurity with one person. If he or she feels that you're too good for him or her, it will bring problems. Then your movement will be just a spiritual monitoring, because everywhere you have to be
looking. But then is it always the case that individuals who date or marry older partners end up cheating because they kind of feel like, oh, my husband or my wife is not like my age, maybe doesn't think along? Because people do think that, oh, okay, maybe the girl married the man for money. He's too old, what can he do for you? And then they kind of looks like they're always after young men, stuff like that. So is it always the case that they will cheat eventually?
If someone will do something,
it doesn't matter the age gap.
It doesn't matter the age gap. If someone will cheat, Rosie, you remember I was telling you that if someone will cheat on you, you already have programmed
You've created
and then
an environment
try to put it on the person that you are cheating. So I might tell you that I'm going out, but my mind is I'm going out alone. But then you start asking me questions, start wondering where I'm going, who I'm with. Immediately you ask me those questions out of you. You've thought about it before asking. You tell me, you are communicating to me that I need to do that. In the first place, I haven't thought of it. I haven't thought of going out with anyone. But immediately you say, oh, I hope it's not that girl that are going out with.
That girl cry, you've not been checking her out. So now I'm going to check her beautiful legs out and be like, okay.
Immediately you say it. Immediately I get out, I'm like, hey, where is she? Every day people say that cheating is associated with men. I won't lie to you. Yes, but women too cheat a lot.
Diplomatic cheating.
We all have our side of cheating. I might cheat on a scale of 100, a man might cheat like 50. A woman would cheat exactly 100.
Rosie, do you agree?
With a 0.1.
Rosie, do you?
With a reason.
No, Nana, please. let me hear from Rosie. Rosie, you defend us. The ball is in your court. What would you say to that?
Don't take it as if you guys are.
Please,
no.
Okay.
Okay, so I think I get what Nana Kwame is trying to say. No, I'm not saying no. I get what he's saying. He's saying that if a woman wants to cheat, she will do it better. Is that not it?
Exactly.
Because
and
one,
and 101%.
Because one,
we
women are good with wait. Men are very single focused. When a man is cheating, you will know.
Yes, exactly.
Men are very simple creatures. We women are very complex. We have the ability to control different things at the same time. Ability to multitask. So if I'm running 15 guys, the
you will never know.
Because with my personality, everybody's sweetheart, darling. You won't even know who's actually the darling and the darling.
Before you met her,
ladies, we called on Rosie to defend us. Like, this was the time we had to stand up for her. And you sold us out.
No.
But then, still on the whole dating another person. Because people say that, okay, we all talk about, okay, I didn't marry him for money. But if you know you didn't marry, why didn't you marry that poor or not financially stable man who is also equally older? So is it that we go into such relationship for personal enhancement?
Human beings were made to grow. Yeah. And I always tell people we grow, we become better each stage of our lives with different people. We find and we become better with different people each stage of our lives. That's why we have something called soulmates. So some people married very early and they actually married wrong. And met someone they're supposed to have a future with. But now they've created a presence with another person who is wrong. So you see, we try to do things how people have laid it out on the ground for us. If it worked for Kweku, doesn't mean it worked for Kwame. Let's stop following people just anyhow. You know, I can't imagine me marrying in my early 20s, mid-day. No, but now I'm very focused. I know what I'm building. I know, yes. I don't know.
There are a lot of mistakes that you did in your 20s. You will never afford to do it now. There are lots of things you've lost in your 20s. You will never. You know, maybe in your 20s, early 20s, you didn't really do the wild stuff.
And you know, the early 20s is when you actually, it's a confused stage.
Yeah, you don't know
so
what you
want.
Always,
my heart goes out to people who actually marry in that confused state. You just came out of being a teenager. A teenager, that's a stage where you want what adults want, but you lack the responsibility of handling what adults want. So you just came out into your fresh 20s. Oh, now I'm an adult by legal right, but you still behave like a child. Your thinking is not shapen, it's not sharpened. You know, even if you're confident, you're still not there yet.
Rosie, there are some people who disagree with you and say that, oh, well, you can find love at any time, and then when it comes, you accept
love
it.
Is not lost.
But there are some people who married very young.
Paula,
and then they
love
have
is not lost. You have to go and find it. You create it by first being it. When you walk into a room, do you assume that love is your aura love? You attract who you are. So if at that point in your life, if you're insecure, the insecure people will come your way everywhere you go. If you're a fuck boy, you meet a lot of people who are in that same category. So if you know you're attracting something that is not who you are at that moment, then you have to check the environment. Maybe that you have outgrown some environment, you're still going there. So that you attract wrongly. So be at the right places.
With what you're saying that people marry early and then still have a successful marriage, they started with friendship. We all sometimes miss the friendship part,
which is the basics
of love,
every good relationship.
We don't get to know each other well, and we think we are in love. Then we just started.
You don't even get to know yourself well. That's what I'm saying. Like statistically, people who marry early, per research, people who marry in their early 20s, they end up regretting it.
And sometimes you see them.
But then there's the case where society is also saying that, oh, you should marry, you know, that's where they come. So you should marry quickly because
the society.
You get to 30.
You know,
because the same men, when you are 26, 27, you will hit 30, then you feel like, hey, I have to quickly marry because they will say the age thing is playing in there.
No matter your age, if you are destined to marry, you will find someone who is still interested in you. No matter
That
the
you are
age.
right.
It's not even destiny. If you want it,
Yes, you will
are right.
find
There's someone
who
who
is
wants what you
interested.
want.
Yes.
They are there. I mean, what's the rush?
Hmm.
We have a rush spirit. That's the whole bit.
People say the biological clock.
What? Which clock? Who is full?
You know,
operating that clock?
when you follow society,
you will, and the same society will tell you, why didn't you wait?
Yes.
Into where who wait? Into
it's even a fire. Into assembly.
have a mind of your own.
Society
Think
is
for yourself.
always controlling us. So if you don't sit back, observe yourself, and know what you want, you end up somewhere you are not supposed to be. Ask yourself, if this your auntie or your uncle is looking for this for you, ask yourself, what is she looking for? Her own child. I go outside and then I find a rich woman older than I am, and I bring her home and I tell my mom this is what I want to marry, and she agrees. Who are you to tell me you don't agree? Let your son or your daughter also go out and find it, and you know what is going on in your house, like you know how financially unstable. So you know why I'm going in for this. You should know that if that is your auntie's thoughts for you, it won't be for her son or her daughter. So when you are going in for something, know what you want, value yourself, and know that what you are going in for has value. If it is not adding any value to you, please cut it.
But when all is said and done, there are people who are married to older women, older men, who have successful marriage. It made them better people. Because women in society, you know that they say, oh, don't marry another. But they are married to older men. They give them the peace of mind. They come out happy, have children, and they don't look like old men.
It's
not what people think. There's so many misconceptions.
Look, I can learn a lot from an older woman. I will not learn from my age mate. She is grown. She's reached a peak. She's lived the life you are living. She's experienced life. Now it's time for her to sit back and calculate her next step. Now she's calculating. She's not having fun. But if when you are in your early 20s to 30s, you have fun, but you are not thinking about what your next move is. When you get in touch or connected to someone like that, you have a little fun. You think about your next move.
You see, that tells a lot about the kind of person you are. You are looking, you're futuristic. Yes. You have a vision.
Because it's not just
today. And that is not just with the age dynamics. Because you can have someone who is older and their focus is very shitty. Excuse my French.
It can happen.
Yeah. Yes. And you meet someone who is very young and has, because you meet men who are in their 40s and they behave like 15-year-old boys. You meet someone who is 25 and he's focused. So this age bit, is very tricky. If you follow age, people say it's but a number. It is very true.
You would end up marrying somebody you're not supposed to marry. And you sit back and
so there's a downside to it too.
But before we wrap up the conversation, let's just put out the advantages and disadvantages. Because we can say it's good and all that, but you not get everything perfect as it is.
Yeah.
So Rosie, are you going to take the advantage or disadvantage? Let's take the advantages, because you've been up on the whole, we shouldn't limit you.
Yeah.
So just point out some advantages of dating
So
another
the sexual bit is there. They bring very good spice, their experience, and there is sense of security. And it's not just materially, but emotionally. Because usually people who are older, they have their sense of just settling down. So there is no mind games.
You're not going to take you through.
You know where you stand. He knows what he wants. Jude is already settled. Okay, I need a good woman to build with. Great. I want to have fun. And I'm now going to experiment a doggy style. No, he's experienced that. He wants something serious. So usually with older relationships, it's serious. It's not just, like you said, it's not just for fun. Because we both know where we are going. So I need someone who is going there with me. So that's security, the whole experience they bring on board, and then there is no mind games.
I feel the disadvantage is just one. When you turn to listen to society, you'll be very unhappy. When you marry someone who is older than you, society is not dead. They're still in your life. Okay. And one funny thing is, they leave their house issues and start to monitor. They start to monitor what you're doing. They start to monitor the clothes you wear. start to monitor what you do, what you eat. So if you follow what they do or what they say, you will be very unhappy, which is going to be a disadvantage to your marriage or to your relationship. And also another disadvantage is you would never show respect if you marry someone who is older and the person is not trying to pull you along with him or her. They are not also trying to match up with
Yeah,
him or
you
her.
feel you always
feel
be down, suppressed.
So you don't respect the person. So the disadvantages are a lot. So if you sit back and you look at all these, you list your advantages, you list your disadvantages, you weigh them, which one is higher or which one is much than the other, then you know what you're going in for. If you don't weigh your disadvantages and advantages, it will lead you into the first quarter of the relationship, which is going to be successful, but the rest of it is something else.
So I also have just something to chip in. When you are in a relationship with an older person, of course, maybe they might be of advantage when it comes to having money or to support you, right? But then one thing is for sure, if you want respect, you always don't have to go in as the person who is always dependent on them. No matter what, if the person has money and is ready to buy you a car, get you all that, sis, make sure that at least you are using that money to establish something for yourself. The money is not going to be there always. And then men find women who are, you know, trying to work something, trying to also make their money attractive. So no matter what it is, he might be older, he might have all the riches, she might be older, she might give you everything you want. But no matter, if you really want your respect and do not feel like you're depending on them all the time, get something for yourself. And also, don't take this lightly. You have to set boundaries and limitations. So yes, if you want to, if you're a man or a woman, you want to settle with an older person, go ahead, laugh freely, do whatever you do, and don't listen to what society will say. Because if you listen to them, Charlie, you're going to lose out. Guys, this has been an eye-opener, very engaging, and it's sad that we had to bring it to here, but you know, we have to go. But before we go, I want you to put out your social media handles where we can reach you.
It's Nana's Kitchen Ghana and on Instagram, and then Prime Events Ghana on Instagram. Nana's Kitchen, we handle all occasions, wedding parties, funerals, bridal showers, just name it, all your enjoyments and all your sad moments which you want food, we will come in. And then with the Prime Events, it goes hand in hand with the kitchen as well. So just call us, give us a call, or go to our Instagram handle pages and then DM us. We would communicate with you and then we'll just make things easy for you.
So get interactive on my social media. I'm on Instagram as Rose Boss, and our new clothing line is going to be launched this weekend as the Amalax Vogue Wear. So follow us on our social media handles, ALVW, and please leave comments, support us, and also check our other businesses, Home Services Ghana, GH, on LinkedIn, IG, and Facebook, and iRose Luxury Factory.
So yes, we've come to another end of a exciting episode of Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. I hope that you've taken a thing or two from this conversation. If you want to laugh someone, laugh them. Don't feel like, oh, this is what they are going to say.
We should be moaning and cuddling, you know.
If you want to moan and cuddle with a 72-year-old and 50-year-old woman,
be free.
Be free to do whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Moan and cuddle.
It's been a pleasure having you here, and then we hope that you join us on the next episode. My name is Paulina Deda Opoku. Thanks for watching.